Alexa, I've been seeing rain and flooding in certain parts of the area. Had to slow down actually on my way to the station because on Rampart Street, some of the sidewalk you can't even see because of the water there.
Yes, I know. We picked up several inches very quickly in like the less than an hour. We picked up maybe upwards of 1 to 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches in the worst case scenario. That's why we had this flash flood warning go in effect for parts of Orleans Parish and St. Bernard Parish. And luckily that storm we've been dealing with over the last less than an hour or so is starting to wind down. Now there are still some hefty showers and storms happening just east of Gentilly, but you notice City Park down through Cleveland Avenue, it's starting to wind down. But the flash flood warning is in effect until 4:45, so it's really important if you are heading home from work or just driving around right now, you definitely avoid those flooded roadways. We can take an even closer look where we've had several reports of street flooding down from City Park all the way through parts of 610 and I-10 through Gentilly. And the Bywater still seeing some hefty showers and storms right now, and then really most of it concentrated to the east of Gentilly along Highway 90 and southward. But over the next few hours or so, we can get these pop-up showers and storms that can initiate quite a bit of hefty rainfall in a quick amount of time. So we can still see some more isolated risks of street flooding concerns. That's something we're going to have to deal with today. And I think tomorrow we'll have some more rain and storms coming our way during the afternoon that can give us those good hefty, healthy downpours leading to areas of street flooding. So that's something we're going to have to deal with this afternoon. Still hit or miss variety and isolated, but again tomorrow as we do have some more showers and storms coming our way. Quick check of our National Weather Service chat. That's something we utilize as a tool to see the latest updates. Nothing coming in as of right now. There's still, of course, that flash flood warning we're covering right now in effect until 4:45. And that's just something we'll have to kind of wait it out and let the water kind of recede over the next few hours. But luckily the storm that's producing all of this rain is actually starting to wind down a little bit. There are still some showers over the city, and parts of Chalmette I know did see some flooding earlier, and parts of the city have to deal with quite a bit of rainfall over the last few hours or so. But like I keep saying, this is kind of winding down and kind of just shifting off to the east. But it did give us some gusty winds as well and some frequent flashes of lightning. Luckily, the city is the only area dealing with a warning at this point. Kind of a wide look at the area shows the scattered showers and storms, but not quite as intense as what's going on in the city. And I know we have to deal with these problems quite a bit. And this time of the year, of course, this is what we're dealt with. And unfortunately, it happened today. So we do still have some moderate showers happening south of Chef Mentor Highway at this point, kind of fizzling out to the east. So we'll be continuing to monitor this over the next hour or two. We'll see over the next few hours, actually, if any more showers and storms can get bubbled up that may lead to some isolated flash flooding concerns. So that might be something we have to kind of pay more attention to this afternoon and again tomorrow afternoon. I know there are quite a few reports of street flooding. I'm trying to pull it up here on my secondary computer. Quite a bit across the city. Reported street flooding, 610 Elysian Fields Avenue, St. Louis Street and North Rampart Street, LaSalle Street and Cleveland Avenue, Elysian Fields, Overpass North. That was a while ago, about an hour ago. The most recent is from 900 Royal Street. Around 2:20, there was a report of street flooding on Royal Street, 900 block of Royal Street. Also on North Galvez Street and Abundant Street on Elysian Fields Avenue. So quite a bit of instances of street flooding across the city and somewhat more of our usual spots. But unfortunately, that's something we have to contend with this afternoon. Make sure you're driving carefully. You're avoiding those flooded roadways. If you have to kind of walk through the streets, definitely avoid walking down flooded roadways and kind of wait for the water to make its way out of the area. Luckily, behind this shower, behind these storms that we've been dealing with over the last hour, not a lot of activity. It is winding down, so that is a plus. That's something good, though there are still a couple showers still happening along Chef Mentor Highway and just to the south. So, Charisse, I'm not sure if we have any good pictures outside. Probably. It's been kind of just dumping so much rain that I'm sure we do have quite a bit of good footage outside.
Well, you know, I don't know if we have one of our producers that can pull up our Twitter feed here, but one of the areas that you mentioned was right there on Rampart, North Rampart and Toulouse Street. That's where I saw people that were walking on the sidewalk in ankle deep water. And there were some cars that had to flood in that area. This is the video that we're talking about right here. Now, this this video shows just how fast that water rose. Just that's a sidewalk right there in front of several businesses and a couple of apartment buildings over there. So when you talk about driving through those areas, you have to make sure you're careful because you can't really see the street. You can't really see the sidewalk and you don't know what you're stepping into. We know how these situations happen in New Orleans. Sometimes when you go underneath those overpasses are flooding. Sometimes you go through areas that are known or prone to flooding. Hopefully they drain a little bit easier, so you have to make sure that you're careful. Took a little bit longer of a route when I came here on the interstate. The interstate slowed down quite a bit, and that was a lot of people that went through some heavy downpours. Alexa, are there any parts of the city that we should be more concerned about that are experiencing heavy rains? Because coming from Lakeview, from that neighborhood, it looked like everything slacked up. And as I started to go into downtown New Orleans, that's when I really started to see the heavy rain.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the surrounding area didn't have to deal with such like a dousing of rain in such a short amount of time. But unfortunately, the storm kind of just parked right over the city and just kept producing quite a few inches of rain, maybe upwards 3 to 4 inches in such a short amount of time. And we know what happens in the city when that when that amount of rain falls in such a short period of time. You're going to have to deal with those flooded roadways, and it's so scary. Yeah, walking around and driving around, you don't really know what you're seeing. There's actually a graphic I wanted to pull up because you think, oh, you know, I have an SUV, I can definitely navigate the flooded roadways. That's not true at all. Like, water is so powerful, it can knock down, it's just 6 inches of fast moving water can knock down a person. 12 inches of fast moving water can carry a car away. And so even though it seems like it would be okay to drive through it, it is absolutely not. And we've seen about maybe upwards of 4 inches in such a short amount of time. And even if you have a larger vehicle, it can certainly carry away a larger vehicle pretty easily. So that's something we definitely have to keep in mind when we deal with these street flooding and these flash flood warnings across the area. It's really important not to drive through them and not to walk through them. It is so unbelievably dangerous. And unfortunately, that's something we've got going on right now. Luckily, though, as I keep saying, that that storm, the hefty storm, I should say, that's kind of been parked over the city is starting to wind down. But we have to wait out this flash flood warning until 4:45.
All right, thank you so much, Alexa. And look, if you make sure you download that WWL TV app, we're going to give you all of the updates, all of the alerts, because we want to keep you safe. Make sure you are driving careful out there. Drive slowly through those flooded waters, because again, you don't know necessarily what you're driving over. If we have any more updates to bring to you, we'll bring them to you right here on the Eyewitness News. And of course, more updates, getting all of the flooding video that we have seen today on the Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 10. In the meantime, we're going to take you back to your